welcome to our video presentation. I'm Edmund Fuentes, and in this presentation, we are going to talk about why and how we come up with our group lesson plan with the topic speaking skill. Our group consists of 5 members, and each member has its own corresponding topic of the different parts of the lesson plan. Now, to get on the same page of what a lesson plan is and the importance of lesson planning, let's get to know first its definition. Lesson plan is like the instructor's roadmap of what students need to learn and how it is effectively done during the class. Lesson planning is at the heart of being an effective teacher. It is a creative process that allows us to synthesize our understanding of language acquisition and language teaching pedagogy with our knowledge of our learners, the curriculum, and the teaching context. Lesson planning is also how we want learning to occur and how we analyze these learning experiences that should fit together to make that vision a classroom reality. Now, in order to begin a lesson planning, let's get to know first the different parts of the lesson plan. It will be discussed by Miss Alfresa Cabotiro.
So, good day everyone. I am Ofesa Okabutiro, and yes, there are 6 parts in the lesson plan. So first is the lesson objectives to be discussed by Miss Erin Angtud. Second is the motivation. Third is the presentation of the topic. Fourth is the discussion proper. Fifth is the generalization of idea and concept. And lastly is the assessment activity to be further discussed by my group mates.
Good day, I'm Irene Angtod and I was assigned to create the part Lesson Objectives. Lesson objectives define the goals and expectations of a lesson. So our group came up with 3 objectives. First, at the end of the lesson, the students will be able to identify the basic concepts of speaking skills. The students expected to identify and understand the lessons and might as well broaden their knowledge and improve or develop their speaking skills. Second, at the end of the lesson, the students will be able to apply the characteristics of speaking skills in an actual setting. Applying those speaking skills is important so that the teacher can assess if the students learn very well and might as well in applying this in an actual setting makes the students learn those skills faster. Third, at the end of the lesson, the students will be able to reflect on the positive and negative aspects of speaking skills.
Good day everyone, I am Alfresa Okabutiro and I will be discussing about the motivation in our lesson plan. So before reading it, let me define first for you what is motivation. So motivation, this is one of the trickiest things for teachers to come up with. So as a teacher, you want something to grab your learners' attention and get them to think, right? So motivation could be anything. It could be a leading question or a game as long as it is connected or relevant to the topic that you are about to discuss. That is why we came up with this kind of motivation. So the teacher will present pictures in the class. Students will form groups and each group is given different pictures. Students will discuss the picture with their groups and then a representative for each group describes the picture to the whole class. So this is where our topic speaking skill comes in, when the representative for each group will explain and will describe their collaborated idea to the whole class.
Hi everyone, so this is Hannah Pearl Isgana and I'll be discussing the topic for today. So it is entitled Speaking Skills. Let's proceed. Speaking is an act of making vocal sounds, also means to converse or expressing thoughts, feelings, and ideas in spoken language through the use of our articulators, which are the mouth, the teeth, the vocal cords, and so on. Speaking is the most productive skill in the oral mode. It could be used in the linear communication, interactional communication, transactional communication. Speaking doesn't just end with how to pronounce the words and the grammars you were about to speak to, but also in finding its context. So in this topic, we focuses the three kinds of speaking situations. Firstly, is the interactive. It includes face-to-face conversation and telephone calls, which alternately listening and speaking, which we have a chance to ask for clarifications, repetitions, or slower speech from our conversation partner to listen the misconceptions and misunderstandings during the conversation or the interaction. Secondly is the partially interactive, such as when giving a speech to a live audience, where the convention is that the audience does not interrupt the speech. Like for example, the in the school activities we held before, spoken poetry, declamation, or impromptu speech that has a live audience. And lastly is the non-interactive, such as when recording a speech for a radio broadcast. It is labeled in the linear communication because only the speaker will send the message and doesn't get a feedback. So, through radio broadcast. And that's all. So, this is the last part of our discussion, and I hope you learned today.
Hello, I am Nina Racy Villaferte and I am assigned to the discussion proper of our lesson plan, which is speaking as a language skill. Here, it envisions all teachers' activity and students' activity, or in short, the activities done during or in a class. It includes the flow of the discussion, the participation, asking, answering, raising questions, clarifications, and conversations. At first, the teacher will greet the students, like for example, good morning class, good afternoon class, how are you today? To be followed by a prayer and then checking with the attendance. Afterwards, the teacher will ask the students and give about the different language skills, for example, writing, reading, speaking, listening. The students will answer orally. The teacher will initiate an importance of speaking as a skill and relate it to those who are mute by selecting or letting the students to volunteer enacting the situation between the two persons. One is mute and the other can speak. Consequently, jumping into the main lesson, the teacher will begin to define speaking and give out examples of the three different speaking situations, starting with interactive. The teacher will also ask the students to give another example situation, followed by partially interactive. The teacher will also ask the students as well for another example situation. Selected students have to answer orally. Same with the third example, which is non-interactive. At the very end, the teacher will go back and relate the importance of speaking as a language skill and those who are mute or with impairment.
So the fifth one is the generalization of idea or concept. So this is what we came up. The teacher will call for at least 4 students from the class to give the generalization of the topic. So the students will raise their hand and answer it. So this is where the discussion ended and students must draw conclusions to themselves. So this part should also result to reflections and learnings and experiences of the students in the discussion.
Hello, once again, my name is Nira Villaferte, and now let's proceed to the last part of our lesson plan, which is the assessment activity. The teacher will conduct an impromptu speaking activity. The teacher will prepare a list of topics that students will be able to talk about. The class will be split into teams, and have each student choose a number. That's the order they will go in. Each student will respond to a statement without preparation. They must continue speaking for 45 seconds. As the student is speaking, the other team listens for moments of hesitation, grammatical mistakes, and vocabulary mistakes. If the other team can correctly identify an error, they get a point.
And that concludes our video presentation for today. I hope you've learned something. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye bye.